Time to test the validity of me as a YouTuber. Anyway, I'm a Sonic fan. No, wait, come back. Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog. A very interesting game that came out in 2006, that game was. Stop looking at me like you don't know what this game is. You know exactly what this game is. You're a liar if you don't.
Actually, I only got involved in the series after Frontiers.
Oh my god, you poor child. I'm not the channel for that. Please go find someone else. Trust me, you will find so many people talking about 06 and why it is a bad game, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to give you a light in the darkness, the hope of the universe, and one guy in a small team that just decided to say, sure, let's put it on PC, but finish it. So a while back, some guy was like, hey, I'm gonna port Sonic 06 to Unity real quick, BRB, and then he did it. And then he just vanished off the face of the internet without a single trace. Bummer. But then, enter a new fighter into the fray. ChaosX. Not to be confused with the artist Chakra X, he actually made the animated series Nazo Unleashed. That's pretty cool, go check it out. ChaosX and his team decided to just make Sonic stories available. You know, just put them out on the internet and just let people play it with actual physics, momentum, all the stuff that makes a good Sonic game a good Sonic game. And everyone was like, wait, is this peak? No, okay. This is just one thing. He's obviously gonna vanish. Most Sonic fan projects vanish after a month or two. Bam, 2 years ago. Here's the Shadow release. And then bam, just most recently, last Christmas, here's the Silver release. And I'm here to talk about it. So, before I get into it, just a couple rules. I'm gonna be talking about everyone's stories in order. So, Sonic, Shadow, and then Silver. And then I'll talk about things that have changed from how they were originally in 06. And then finally, I'll talk about the tag team characters that don't really have that much of a segment, but they do get their time to shine in the game. And to start, I think we should start with the person who was affected by 06 the most being Gunfinish. Silver. Putting him in the Green Hill stage in Smash Bros is a fucking joke. That man cannot run loops. Silver sucked in 06, and I'm not talking about him in the story, that's a different discussion. I'm talking about his fundamentals as a character that you play as, and he sucked still. To make a long story short, Silver was the one thing a Sonic character should never be: slow. You thought Amy and Adventure 1 was slow? Ooh, no, buddy. You have not seen molasses on a snail on top of a turtle before you have seen Silver the Hedgehog. Also, for a guy whose main gimmick is the fact that he has psychokinesis, being able to lift things like himself and objects, they sure as hell did not work. They also didn't give him a spin jump, which is also going to really hurt his movement because, spin jump. You curl into a ball, you hit an enemy, simple. Makes sense, right? Silver doesn't have that. It doesn't make sense at all. Good job. Oh my god. But what really made him drag on was the fact that because he was so slow and all these open-ended stages were designed for characters like Sonic, Shadow, etc., Silver really was just out of place, being a lot more platform and combat heavy compared to the other two Hedgehogs. But get this though, Silver has the biggest glow up in the entire game, so much so that I'd argue that Sonic and Shadow don't win by just being characters anymore. I'm sorry. What do I mean by that? First things first, the movement. So Silver is able to just run at a moderate speed now. He has a new animation where he's lifting himself up and he's flying forward as he runs. It's good, it's great, it feels good. His psychokinesis work a lot better for the most part, allowing you to pick up and throw things and actually target people, again, for the most part. His dash can actually work a lot better than it did in the original game where it was just and then that was it. But the crazy thing is, just doing that would be the bare minimum. Adding momentum and physics to all the characters, making Silver actually fast. But no. Well, they went a step further beyond. And let me show you what I mean. The best thing about Silver also includes this energy attack he can do, which automatically stuns anything that it hits, and damages it if you hit it again, which makes things easier to grab and pick up and throw. And I am spoiling this here. There are hidden upgrades in these demos that allow you to find ways to upgrade your characters even further and make their movement options even more enjoyable, which means more replay value, which also means speedrunning, which also means score attack, and those are really fun things to do in this game. Anyway, back to what I was talking about with Silver's unlockables. The first thing Silver gets is this sigil thing. It allows him to curl into a ball. Oh my god. And secondly, it allows him to glide a lot farther. Basically, imagine the opening cutscene, but you can actually do it in gameplay. It's so helpful, and that alone is the main reason why Silver is so much fun in this game. His movement becomes a lot like Sonic and Shadow's, but it's just different. but that doesn't make it bad. If anything, it's quite unique and exhilarating. Finally, he has some speed, being able to just glide and zoom through areas that normally would take him a long time to just kill an enemy and get it over with. But no, he's actually different now, and he can actually take care of things on his own. Also, a spin jump. Oh my god, I didn't know Silver needed this until he actually had it. I brought up score attack earlier because score attack is a really fun way to try to play this game. To make things simple, score attack kind of works the same way as it does in Sonic Heroes. You kill enemies in rapid succession, and then you get a combo point bonus at the end. And once that combo point bonus is over, you get a huge boost to your points. If you're able to beat the stage with 500,000 points, you get an S rank. Finding ways to use Silver's abilities to just clear paths and enemies just makes this so much more fun to do, especially when Silver gets wide open areas with enemies all out the wazoo. And what makes that even better is this. Behind door number 2, Silver can upgrade his Psycho Shot to be the Psycho Knife from Sonic Generations, shooting out a blade that cut down multiple enemies at ease. But we're not done yet, because if you can somehow endure S-ranking every single stage, do I have to give you the Sigil of Awakening for your prize? This is the ultimate weapon for Silver, and it's so much fun. Essentially, Silver gets this maturity meter underneath his already active meter. Once that is filled to a certain degree, you can unleash a button combination and, okay, to make things way easier, you nuke everything around you. Your psychokinesis is stronger, allowing you to just stun people just by being next to them. They can't handle his swag, look at him. Oh, and my personal favorite, you can glide way farther and for way longer. And the amount of ways you can use this to just break the game and fly to places you may or may not have been intended to go to is the name of the game. On repeat playthroughs, I simply just like flying all over the place because who's gonna stop me? You? Good luck. It may sound like I'm just speed running through all of my notes here, but no, it's really so much stuff that is just so simple that 06 really just didn't get the benefit of doing because it was just an incomplete game. But now this is an idea of what it could be. And before you say anything about, oh, the level design was always bad, it could never have been good, I implore you to watch any other showcase of any other game using 06's level design and its mods and try to just keep that same energy, because you can't. You really just can't. So, ladies and gentlemen, check off all your checklists. Silver's actually fun to play, and we're 1 for 3. All right, time to go 2 for 2. So next up on the list, I guess, is everyone's ultimate life form, huh? Let's talk about Shadow. Shadow. Every single day since your appearance in SA2, you've been a Sonic Echo, but you never really got to show off your chaos abilities. You never got to go buck loose and just let the Lord know that you will not be in church today because you had to let some demons know. In Retail 06, Shadow's biggest complaint was the fact that he was very combat focused compared to Sonic. Not that it was a bad thing, enemies always had health bars in this game and stuff like that. Shadow really just extended from having a combo modifier onto his homing attack. If an enemy had a health bar, you could keep mashing the attack button and then you would just do a combo. The only problem is that because this is base 06, the combo never worked, it didn't even finish, and most of the time you didn't even hit your opponent if you hit it. Oh yeah, what also didn't help is the fact that you also had to complete the entire combo, which is a real pace breaker. Adding to that, you also had Chaos Drive. Too bad it also messed with the camera and also could lead you to your death because for some weird reason, if you just threw out a homing attack and nobody was in the area, you would lose half the distance traveled and then fall down to your death for some reason. I really didn't get that. Good to know we weren't the only one because in the options menu, you could actually change what kind of homing attack you do. More one closer to the boost games. Don't ever pick that one. That was kind of bad. The adventure style ones where it's just a straight arc downward, that's also really weird. What you should really go is for the legacy one. This mimics the one from Sonic Heroes. Basically, if you're carrying momentum and if you go forward, you get to keep that momentum. No matter if you're going up, down more. Trust me, 06 is really great in terms of game flow, and this doesn't mess with the game flow at all. In fact, it enhances it. So if you're going to play the game, in my honest opinion, once you get used to the original homing attack, pick this one. You won't regret it. Anyway, back to actual Shadow though. One of the weirdest things, he didn't have a spin dash, which is kind of weird, but he did have this kick combo that never worked. And then there was the chaos abilities, and oh my god, what was happening here? You remember Shadow's iconic Chaos Sphere that he always used in SA2 and other shows? Well, you can use it here. It doesn't really work, but it's also here. Shadow can also unlock his Chaos Drive, and he can teleport, except when he doesn't, because he'll just stop his homing attack halfway and just drop like a dime. And then there's Chaos Blast. Yeah, I don't even have to show you this one. You already know how bad it is. So, what did they do? Well, they just made everything faster and a lot more responsive. That's what they did. If I were to compare anything, if Sonic is supposed to be the speed run, Shadow is supposed to be the score attack. Now, for those who don't know, a score attack is basically going for a high score in a run. Think about getting like the most amount of points in a fighting game or something. You know what I mean? Shadow's combos actually work. You can charge the Chaos Spear to do actual damage. And of course, the Chaos mode. This alone makes Shadow so much fun, I swear to God. His dash goes further. The camera can actually follow behind him. No vehicles, surprisingly, which is actually pretty funny. He can spin dash. His kick actually does damage and has actual range. And it can also do a 3-hit combo kind of thing. It's actually really good to use. Yeah, a lot of the combat is still just mashing the homing attack and mashing A to do the same combo. But hey, it's about how you do it and where you do it in relation to other enemies in the area. Check out this clip of Flame Core. You really get an idea for what I'm talking about here. Oh yeah, he also has vehicles, and the vehicles that they put in the game actually function pretty good. The hovercraft is really fun, if not a little jank. The glider's my favorite, specifically because of how fast you can boost with it and just how much you can break just by using it. Goodbye Crisis City Tornado. And honestly, there isn't really much else to say about Shadow that I can't describe about his other teammates, which I'll have to describe later like I said in the beginning. But overall, Shadow just feels like the hard mode Sonic Heroes wanted Team Dark to have, but like actually engaging and not boring. On the topic of Sonic Heroes, I really do like the implication of this bar in the bottom of the screen, limiting your abilities and upgrading the more you defeat enemies. It really does feel like an evolution of that defeat enemies and level up system that Sonic Heroes started. I bet you're wondering so far why I'm not talking about the level design of any of the stages. That's because the level design never really changed in terms of ChaosX and his team really messing with it. The game was already perfect enough in that respect. All we needed was just characters that didn't suck. And speaking of characters who didn't suck, it's about time we talk about the star pupil himself, Sonic. Sonic's biggest issue in Sonic 06 was just mainly the fact that he wasn't really finished. Yeah, Sonic's pretty much the most finished character in 06, I guess, besides Blaze, but I'm not sure. I haven't played the original game in years, but I do have a good memory of it. So regardless, what did they do to fix Sonic? Well, first things first, remember those infinite glitches you could do with the meter in the bottom right? Nah, shot. You gotta play fairly now. Secondly, all of his gems are hidden throughout the stages, which I think is really fun because of 06's level design being so open. It allows for you to explore a lot of it and really find all the nooks and crannies that you can see in there. Sonic games are always at their best when you're rewarded for exploring. It's why I prefer the action stages of SA1 over SA2. Yeah, I said it, I'm not sorry. Oh yeah, fun tip for Sonic, change the spin dash to be like the one in SA1. It's more fun that way, trust me. But I'm gonna take a quick detour. Before I talk about Sonic's regular controls, let's talk about one of the biggest aspects about Sonic stages, the Mach speed sections. Did you want Sonic to be fast? Did you want Sonic to be potent? Well, too bad, because these stages were the bane of everyone's existence. I'm talking about starting games all over again from the beginning, no save data, oh, and just having no control in the air. It was awful. Thankfully, this update fixes every single aspect of this, and it is the best thing I've ever seen. Adding air movement was enough, but no, he took it a step further. You can adjust how fast you're going. Lightspeed dashing doesn't automatically send you off course to get you killed. You can actually bump into things without just dying. Sonic has recoil animation, although this will kill you on Crisis City. And the controls are a lot tighter. It's so simple, but just it's so good. Like, it's so good. So this is what Sega wanted us to see, but never gave Sonic Team the time or budget. What idiots. Well, I'm happy that we got Sonic in the Secret Rings, am I right, people? I mean, without it, we wouldn't have gotten the GOAT Sonic in the Black Knight, am I right? Anyway, enough about the Mach speed. Let's talk about the actual stages. Sonic stages are the best in the game, and the best designed-wise, and Sonic, of course, shows it all off with some of the best controls that feel like a combination of SA1 and SA2, along with some heroes in it, for some of the best gameplay the series has ever seen. Sonic has actual weight and momentum to him. He feels like a ball being rolled down a course, and it's up to you to steer him, and it's so satisfying. Sonic can ricochet and bounce off enemies, and you can cancel the homing attack animation for fluid gameplay movement. The bounce bracelet doesn't just kill Sonic's momentum anymore. The homing attack actually works, the light speed dash actually works, and a lot of pathways are actually fun to explore now. And the gems, oh my god, the gems have been reworked, and they actually have purposes now. The white gem, you can just launch yourself, yeet. Purple gem, my personal favorite, you can just hover and then turn invisible and then do like a few mini jumps in the air. It's actually pretty useful for some skips. Yellow gem gives you a lightning shield. Turns out you can actually become fully invincible while having it equipped and fully upgraded. It's pretty nuts, I'm not gonna lie. The blue gem, you just become Boost Sonic for a little bit, level up all the way, and you become intangible on startup. Good luck. The red gem, slowing down time and allowing for easier score attacks. I love this one. This is really good. Also adding with score attacks is the white gem, allowing Sonic to have enemies ricochet off each other, kind of like pinballs. The green gem, giving Sonic a good AoE tornado attack. It's really helpful, especially in tight corridors. And finally, after you S-rank all the stages, the rainbow gem. And the long-awaited, forgotten Super Sonic in 06 is a fully fledged idea come to life. And he is king. He basically is every ability put into one, minus the slowdown from the red gem, but you know, the red gem kind of sucks. Super Sonic basically just has everything: increased speed, increased momentum, the auto ricocheting thing from the white gem that I mentioned earlier that I already forgot about. Fully upgraded, he can jump higher, bounce higher. Oh, and he gets something called the lightning arrow. You can just like dart forward, just skip everything, just stop playing the game. You won, you are the game. And I didn't even talk about Elise yet. The best thing I can say is that in Dusty Desert, you don't automatically fall into the sand. You can actually just sink normally. The shield actually lasts longer, and Sonic actually has momentum, so it doesn't mean he's just dragging her throughout the stage. Also, some of the best speedrunning is actually in her stages, so I recommend you guys try it. Well, I guess on the topic of partners, let's talk about those teammates that I was talking about earlier. So I'll make this one quick, and then we can wrap it up here. Let's start, of course, with Tails. No longer will Tails be slow as hell. Now he'll just be moderately slow. But hey, at least he can fly better, fly a lot longer, throw dummy rings that actually do damage, oh my god. And also he has a tail swipe ability, akin to one in Sonic Adventure 1. Little buddy is back and he's ready than ever. Ready than ever? What the fuck did I just say? Lumping them together, Knuckles and Rouge no longer have to worry about clinging to walls anymore. Thank God. They're also moderately fast on the ground, but you won't ever be using them for their ground speed. Come on, people, let's be real. They actually gave Rouge her kicks from SA2 back. Why were these omitted? I don't understand. Did you really have duct tape to work with? Yes. Knuckles also gets this homing punch ability. Rouge has her drill kick. It's so good. It's so good. Her section of Kingdom Valley actually allows you to hunt for keys akin to Sonic Adventure 1. Because we all know that the radar system in SA1 was the better one. Omega, I think Omega is the second most revamped character in this game in terms of just being a teammate. So what they did is basically give him his swipe combo from Sonic Heroes. They gave him a first person turret mode akin to like Doom and stuff. He's so fun. His hover actually works and you can't exploit it, although you still can jank it a little bit. And his homing shots are way more reliable. Yeah. So far so good. Blaze, they just finished her, you know, gave her particle effects. Her double jump is good. Her homing attack is great. She has a quad type ability now, which is great if you don't ever want to use the tornado, but why would you never want to use the tornado? What are you doing? But of course, I cannot talk about the best revamped character in Project 06 without first establishing just how bad Amy Rose was. Amy, oh god, Amy had one stage and it was in the tail end of Silver's Dusty Desert, and it was so atrocious. Her hammer had no range. She could become invisible. Why? And is that a double jump with no momentum? Blaze would slap the taste out your mouth if she saw you doing this. So what did they do? They made her so fun. I wish she had more gameplay time. I swear to God. First things first, she can carry her momentum when she swings her hammer, but if you hold the hammer button, she actually does this spin flip that not only does a bunch of damage on enemies, but it also lets her bounce up high and pretty far. It actually carries a lot of momentum with it, and it's pretty broken, so you should really just abuse it any chance you get. You don't have to worry about her losing momentum when she double jumps. And you know, she also has a hammer spin rotation attack, kind of like Toon Link's hurricane spin from Wind Waker. She doesn't get enough time in the spotlight. It's so bad because she's just so good. In fact, all of the teammates are so fun, and it sucks because they're so good and I can't play as them as long because this is not fair. I could go on and on and on about just how much fun all of these characters are, what they're so good at and what they're bad at, but no. I've said enough. I think you should just play what is, in my doubt, the best remake of a Sonic game I've ever seen. I'll leave it down in the link in the description. Have a good day.